Welcome to the Process to Purpose podcast. This is the process segment, and we're going to be talking about wealth today. Again, we're here to help inspire and motivate people to find their purpose through the process of spirituality, health, and wealth, using godly principles and values to break through to the life that God has called us to live. Today, we're going to be talking about the man who handed out resumes. As you guys maybe heard on social media and on the news, there's a man who was a 26-year-old man who was out of work, a homeless man, and he stood out there and he had a sign that said, "Homeless, hungry for success, take a resume." So he wasn't taking any money, right? He went out there to prove something, that he was actually really hungry to succeed. Quick little quote that I'm going to share: the starting point of all achievement is desire. This guy had a desire in his heart that he wanted to do something great. Instead of waiting for the opportunity to come to him, he said, "Hey, I'm going to go out and do something." Right? He actually took action and he made it happen. So if you guys know anybody who is maybe struggling at this moment right now, doesn't have work, can't get a job, doesn't have any money, listen to this podcast. Share this podcast with them. It's going to be a great one. I'm super excited for it. I've been pumped about it all day long, and really, it's going to be a good one. Here's the episode. Today we're going to be talking about the man who handed out resumes. I'm excited about it. So again, I'm going to start off with sharing a quick quote from Napoleon Hill. The starting point of all achievement is desire. So going back to the man who handed out all the resumes, right? Gotta drink a little coffee. So going back to the man who handed out all the resumes, I don't know if you guys seen, but there's this dude that was on social media, or someone took a picture and uploaded the video and photos on social media, and this guy, a homeless gentleman, was actually handing out resumes. So he wasn't asking for money. He wasn't asking for any handouts. What he was doing is he was literally asking if he can just give his resume to have an opportunity. So this is actually what his sign said. It said, "Homeless, hungry for success, take a resume." This dude wanted it. Like, his name's David Caceres. I hope I'm saying that right. 26-year-old dude. So, quick backstory on this guy. And this is according to USA Today. I read up on it, and it says, this guy came to Silicon Valley with a dream to be successful in tech and has a lot to offer the community, but he's been sleeping in parks and still trying to get freelance work and interviews and application. And we all know Silicon Valley is no joke, right? So this dude went out there, and I believe he's, maybe I shouldn't say it because I actually don't have it on here, but I believe he's from, I want to say Texas, but I may be wrong. So, and if you know the answer, go ahead and put it on there. But this dude literally went out there with a dream, say, "Hey, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to get my career in Silicon Valley." And he hasn't got that breakthrough. We all know it's really expensive to live up there. And, even for somebody making six figures, that's like considered low income out there. So can you imagine just trying to survive out there? And so this dude went on the street, instead of asking for money, right? He knows he has an opportunity, but instead of asking for money, he said, "Hey, take my resume. Somebody help me, or somebody hire me, because I'm hungry and I just want to win." And so I just really wanted to just talk about this one dude that just went out there and did it. And I'm sure you guys seen it. And I'm just like in awe. I was supposed to yesterday I did a live video, and I was going to talk about responding versus reacting. And once I seen this guy's story, I was like, we're talking about something else today, because people need to hear what this guy did. And so I'm gonna share a little bit of what he did, a little bit what I went through, and then just the things I've been learning on the way, and just consuming from other people. So it's gonna be a really good one. So really quick, if you know anybody that's in that stage right now, maybe they just graduated high school, graduated college, and they're looking for a job and they can't get any breaks, or they're looking to make money but they haven't really found a way to make money, tag them in this post, tag them in this podcast, do whatever, get them to listen to this, because this is going to be a good one. I really feel like God has his hands all over this one. I've been super pumped about it. I'm still sweating about it. I don't know why I was so nervous at the beginning of this, but I'm super excited. I think that's why I was just like jittery, like, let's get this going. We're 6:20 p.m. Even when I was praying right before, like, I was like, I couldn't even focus on my prayer because I was so excited to get going. So really quick, so on this guy, right? So David Caceres, and I hope I'm saying it right, like I said, he actually, once he did this, he got more than, he got more than 200 job offers right away. More than 200,000 plus people responded to the tweets on his Twitter. And then Google, Netflix, LinkedIn, and many other companies have already reached out, said, to offer him a job. So this dude is out there and he's making it happen. He's finding a way to win. So he decided, and I like what he said here, because this is exactly what he said. He told KNTV, he said, this is my make it or break it moment. Like, this guy had like nothing to lose. He's like, I'm just going to do it. And he found a way to catch attention, right? That's the biggest thing, right? You don't know what to do. Find some attention that brings money. That brings a lot of things, right? Opportunity. So he said, I have to do something crazy, and he just did it. He probably didn't even think about it too much. He said, hey, my last shot, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to go out and do it, and let's see what happens. So that was super awesome. So really what I want to get to is there's always a way. There's always a way to find work here in America. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't have any work, any money. And I've been there. I've been the one without any money. I've plenty times in my life I didn't have any money, where I had to ask my mom for $20 for gas. But yet I was buying stuff for I was buying marijuana. I wouldn't buy the money with the money that she gave me. I wouldn't buy the marijuana, but I was still using other money, so I needed money for like important things like gas and stuff. So, and like I mentioned to you guys at the beginning of this year, I did have $22 in my pocket. So I'm going to share a little bit about that and what I had to do, swallow my pride and all that good stuff. But before I get to that, I'm going to share a quick little stat, and then I'm going to come back to that stat later. But I do want to share it. So, U.S. Department of Labor, right? So it says that unemployed persons, are up in the United States right now are basically 6.6 million. So that's 6.6 million people without work. That's a whole lot of people. You think about it, I believe in California it was just under 1 million. How accurate are these numbers? I really don't know. It came from the U.S. Department of Labor, so I mean, I'm pretty sure they're pretty accurate. But that's a lot of people who are out of work, and and I know there's a lot of factors. There's some people who have disabilities, mental disabilities, physical, physically they can't do certain jobs, and I get that, But there's a lot of healthy people out there making excuses why they don't have any work, why they don't have any money, why they haven't progressed in their life. So we're gonna go into that right now. So really quick, I just wanted to go over and to show you guys how I can relate to this guy. I mean, I've never been homeless. I've always had a roof over my head, so I've been super blessed in that. For the most part, I always had a car, unless I wrecked it, like I just did with my last car. But that's another story. I haven't been in the position this guy has been, but I've been to the point where I was struggling many times. Had $22 in my pocket, and I didn't like, every time I got money I spent it. I didn't know how to accumulate the money, and maybe to about 23 years old, that's when I started saving money. I got up to maybe 18,000 or so saved up, and then I decided that I wanted to go into real estate. I decided that I wanted to get married, and I just did it all in 1 year, and I went through the whole money, right? I went through it all. So when all that happened, I was running out of money. I had to really just swallow my pride, really. That's what it came down to. So I said, hey, I need to start providing. I'm going to be a husband really soon. I need to start doing something quick. money was running out. My wife's or my fiance at the time's like, hey, you know what? We're not gonna be able to afford certain things, like, you know, the weddings, you know, making a big dent in the bank account. So like we had all these things going on, right? And I just kept being, I was being prideful at the time. You know, I knew I had to let go of a couple of things, and I didn't want to let go. Like I had a Chevy Camaro SS, you know, 2015, super nice car. I loved it. Had 20-inch rims. You know, it was stock, but they were nice. Like I kept them clean. You know, them 10s, but I kept them clean. No, but they're really 20s. And, you know, had the whole 426 horsepower, all this good stuff, right? I couldn't afford it. Like, and it's funny. You know why? Because every time I drove, like, up to, like, say, church or wherever I was going, like, I felt like I didn't deserve to be in that car because I wasn't making the money I needed to be making. You know, I wasn't pursuing anything. All I was doing was, like, basically living and, like, trying to pay off this car, right? The car will cost me, I think it was, like, close to $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 a month with payments, insurance, gas, you know, you name it. I was paying a lot for it. So it was just wiping me out. So, you know, I had to swallow my pride and say, hey, it has to go. Yeah, and I did have to roll over some money to the next car, but it's something I had to do because, you know, the gas was killing me. My clients didn't even like being in there. But realistically, I just couldn't afford the car anymore. Like, I like telling people, hey, you know, my clients didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, I could not afford that car. I couldn't. Like, there's no reason why I should have, you know, paying. I was paying like $600 for a car payment for something I can't afford just to look cool. You know, like who cares? Who cares how I look? I got into that point right now where I'm like, it doesn't matter right now. Like, you know, and I know this is going a little off subject, but it's crazy because I know I'm gonna struggle a little bit more to get more following. You know, have more people follow what we're doing, follow the movement really, because I don't have the car. I don't have the big house. I don't have the shiny, you know, watch. I don't have, you know, this nice jewelry, clothes, all this stuff. I don't have it because I don't care to have it, right? Like, people are like, oh, well, you can afford a better car now. No, it doesn't matter. That's not where my priorities are. So, you know, that was a quick little, I don't know, I went off track a little bit right there, but I know I'm going to struggle a little bit with the following part because of the fact that, you know, I don't have all those things, in which I'm okay with. I know God has a plan. He's going to just put the right people in front of me, and I'm going to be in front of the right people. So that's going to be awesome. But yeah, so going back to the Camaro, I got rid of the Camaro. I went and I got a Camry LE. So I couldn't even afford the SE, you know. I was looking at the SE and it was going to be a couple of thousand more. And I couldn't afford it. I was like, bro, we got to go with the LE. Like, the Camry LE has hubcaps. I hope I said that right. Hubcaps. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. Like, literally, like, if you guys know what that is, like, the rim comes off. It's not even a rim. It's just a cap on the rim. So the rim's, like, basically black. Bluetooth suck. It doesn't even have cruise control. I mean, it looks cool, like, because it's a white car, you know, and it's a little bit newer. It's 2017. And I'm not complaining because I'm super blessed to have it. But, like, I went from a Camaro SS to a Camry LE. Like, do you guys know how much that hurts? It hurts my soul. But I knew I had to do it. You know, I didn't have to be the guy that I was trying to perceive that I was back then. You know, the guy with the beard. At the time when I first got the Camaro, I had the muscles. That you know, went away fairly quick. So that's yeah, I was the guy with the beard, Camaro, and muscles, right? And with no money. Even though I did save up some good amount of money with the Camaro, it just got to the point where I couldn't afford it once I decided to go into entrepreneurship, right? So we all been there. And then the next step that I had to take so now I don't have my car, right? I don't have the car that I wanted. I have a Camry LE. I said, okay, cool, let's do this. Still a cool car, still super blessed. And then there's the real estate thing, right? It wasn't producing any money for me. I was working, I said I was working, right, and I kept thinking, man, I'm working so hard and I'm not getting any results, right? So you guys know about that already. So I had to do something about it. I had to just swallow my pride again. I didn't want to go do Lyft. I didn't even want to tell anybody I was doing Lyft. Besides, like, my close friends, I told them, hey, I'm doing Lyft. It's pretty cool. Like, I'm doing something, right? I'm making money somehow. So I slapped that pink sticker on my car, and I went and just bit the bullet because I didn't want to do it. I wanted to just be known as a real estate guy. You know, oh, whoa, he can't, he's not doing it, so he has to go do Lyft. Yeah, that's what I thought. But no, man, you got to do whatever it takes. You got to go out there and do whatever it takes. I literally went out there about 3 to 5 times a week, about 8 to 13. I think I hit a 14-hour day doing Lyft. It's not easy. You got to deal with people, right? You got to deal with angry people in LA. And they was taking me to like Glendale. It was taking me everywhere. I didn't want to do that, but I had to do it because we had an apartment. We had like things we had to pay for. Just got married. So I literally had to bite the bullet and say, hey, I'm just going to do it. Like, stop making excuses why you don't have any money. You have an opportunity in front of you. Yeah, real estate, cool. Like, at the same time, I was still like sending out emails, sending out homes. So like, I'll stop by like at a, let's say, because I know you can't stop by in too many places in LA, but I'll stop by a gas station and I put my hotspot on, and I would just go at it, send the emails out, send the text messages out, make the phone calls. Like, even when people were in the car with me, I'd be like, hey, I'm so sorry, but can I take this phone call? And they're totally cool with it. If they weren't, then whatever, I still do anyways, right? And I would talk. But the thing, what I decided to do when I was doing Lyft, I said, hey, if I'm going to do this Lyft thing, right, that I don't want to do, I'm going to do it with purpose. I had to do it with purpose. Like, I had to find an opportunity to like win while doing Lyft. So what I started doing is it's funny because I put the stack of my business cards, right, and it has my cool little mug right there. I put it like in the back where like it was like popping out like in a little section. I don't know what the heck the section's for, but it was there. And it would like catch people's attention, and they'll be like, hey man, what do you do? And they'll grab the business card, and I'll be like, it was just an opportunity for me to say, hey, I do real estate. I don't know if you need any real estate, like, you know, stuff, but take the card. It's yours. Like, here, but oh, I have those back. It was kind of that kind of type of thing, but it was a conversation starter, right? So I knew that people were going to sit in the back, so I put the cards in the back. I did it with purpose, so something could come up, right? And then somehow when I would have conversations with people, I would like bring something up without being super pushy, and so they know that I was doing real estate somehow, some way. Like, I don't know what I would say. Maybe I would be like, oh, you know, just working, just gotta, and I just love speaking to people. So like somehow it'll come up, and next thing you know, I'm giving them my business cards. There's people like, hey, you know, if you could send me information. So there was a couple of people. It didn't turn it into anything, right? None of the people ever really bought or sold anything. But I was gaining experience speaking to people. I was, you know, mastering my craft of how to give business cards out, how to hand them out, how to start the conversation when I'm talking to people. Like, I was learning the whole time I was doing Lyft. Can you imagine if I decided, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna stick to this real estate thing? For one, I would have been like super broke, and my wife would have been pissed. Like, not because like, oh, you know, she would have held it down, because she was holding it down for a cool minute. Like, she was my sugar mama. Don't tell her I said that. She's probably listening. But she was holding it down. And that's another thing. Like, I had to like get used to her. Like, there's times where she had to like take out the debit card to pay when we go out to dinner or go watch a movie or something. And I just wasn't used to it. I was always used to paying because I had a good paying job. Right. And so, yeah, that was really hard for me. That was probably harder than anything, harder than giving up my car, harder than starting to do Lyft. But I decided, hey, I gotta make some money somehow, and I would like test myself, like, hey, how many rides can I get during the peak hours? You know, if you guys that do Lyft, you guys know how that is. So it was pretty cool. I learned a lot. I don't regret it, not at all. But like I said, I did it all with a purpose. I didn't just go say, oh, well, I'm going to go do Lyft. Let's see what happens. Let's see how many dirty people get in my car. And there's some people in some areas I'm like, bro, like, yeah, when's the last time you showered, my dude? But I love people, so, it doesn't really matter. But I just wanted to share that with you guys to let you know that, like, sometimes you just got to do whatever it takes. Quit making excuses. Quit saying, hey, I can't make any money. I can't find a job. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't have money here in America, or you shouldn't be making any money, or you shouldn't have a job. There's no reason why. There really isn't. And I'm starting to think about, like, why all those years I didn't have any money for a while. Like, I was just living paycheck to paycheck because that was what I decided to do. But, like, there's so many ways to actually make money. Like, going back to my boy, what's his name again? David. I want to call him Caesar for some reason. Going back to my dude David right here, the guy, he's 26 years old and he doesn't have work, but yet he decided to go out there and not make excuses, make a sign and hand out resumes instead of asking for money, right? So there's people out there who are like, man, nobody's hiring right now. Do you guys know in May, I think we had like an all-time low of like unemployment. There's people hiring, guys. There's people out there that are willing to hire you if you actually go out there and put in the effort. And you say, well, maybe, nobody's hiring, where I want to work. What do you mean where you want to work? If nobody's hiring you, go find something, start there, find an opportunity where you're going, and then go from there. Like, nobody's hiring you because you're probably not qualified or you probably don't have the experience. Go get experience somewhere. I don't care if it's Pizza Hut, whatever the case is. Work your butt off there. Learn how to work first because that's what they want to see. And then go hand out some more resumes. And then people are like, well, I've handed out 3 or 5 resumes. Like, what? 3 to 5 like, this dude's handed out probably hundreds of resumes now. Hand out 50, Go find talent. Like, there's places where you can actually put your resume and they'll find a job for you. But you're not doing it. Like, I even forgot to put that in my notes. Like, there's places where you can go. And I got my buddies, in Find Talent. I'm sure they can help you out. There's no excuse not to have a job. Well, I applied here and, I failed the drug test. Well, stop smoking weed. Or stop doing drugs. I've been there. I failed the drug test and it sucked. And I had to go work at Round Table. And it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. And I totaled my car. Like, it was just all bad. But I was making those choices. I was making the choices that I knew that were going to affect my life. Quit making excuses, man. Not man, everybody. I'm talking to everybody, And then say you're like, well, I don't really want to like find a job like that. I want to start my own thing. But you don't have any money. What are you going to do? Bite the bullet and start doing Lyft. Start doing Uber, right? Start doing Postmates. Start doing Grubhub. What else do we got? I don't know. I think I wrote a couple of down here. DoorDash. There's the Amazon thing. You can deliver stuff. Like, there's no excuses, right? Work enough where you save enough money to start buying the stuff that you need. If it's a camera, if it's a mic, if it's, a phone, if it's a better car, whatever the case is, start somewhere. No excuse. And then we get I don't have a car. Well, great. What are you going to do? Just fold? Just lay down in the fetal position and just say, hey, this is my life. This is who I am. No. I like what Gary Vee says, right? Gary Vee, he does the whole eBay thing, flipping things on eBay. Sell your crap. I'm pretty sure you have a PS4 or a PS3 or a PS something. You got them shoes that have just been sitting in there. Sell it. You don't have any money. Sell it. And Gary Vee's huge on this, right? So I'm not making this up. This is somebody that's actually successful. Even though I like to say I'm successful because I'm just winning in life. But this dude's like, a multimillionaire, and he's telling you to sell stuff online. Sell it on Craigslist. Sell it on OfferUp. You say, well, I don't have a car. Take the bus. I'm sure you can, make a little extra money to take the bus and go sell the things that you have, or, send it online. You're going to get the money. Come on, guys. Let's think about this, right? Well, you might say, I don't have anything to sell. Wow. Go to what does he also say? Go to yard sales. You go to yard sales and you find these things that people don't want anymore, but they still hold value to a certain amount of people. Find out what sells. Go to the yard sales. There's a lot going on right now. Go to the yard sales and find something and buy super cheap. You could buy stuff for like a quarter, $1.50, $2, and sell it for $10, $20. Like, that's winning, bro. That's like return on your investment, right? Go do it. Stop making excuses. That's all it is. It's really an excuse. Well, I don't have any money to buy stuff at a yard sale. Going back to Gary Vee, my boy. There's stuff that people give away because they don't want it. Because they just don't have the room for it. They don't have the space for it. They just can't sell it. Well, I don't know, whatever the case is. They overpriced it. And if you go on Craigslist and if you go on OfferUp, there's things that are there for free. Go pick them up. Find out what things are actually selling and sell them. Sell them before you even go pick it up. And if they end up like giving it away to somebody else, you say, well, hey, sorry, I just sold it, before you got here. They'll be pissed, but hey, at least you tried. No excuses. Like, when I heard that, I'm like, bro, there's so many ways to make a living. But going back to like doing it with a purpose, right? So don't start doing that and then next thing you know, you're buying another video game, or next thing you know, you're buying all this stuff. You're buying shoes. You're buying stuff that you don't need. No, do it with a purpose. When you do it, so say, hey, I'm going to save this much money, right? I'm going to spend money I'm going to buy more stuff so I can make more money. And I'm going to get by whatever I got to pay. Cool. Awesome. So I can get that car so I can go into start doing Lyft. I could start doing Uber, right? I'm going to pay cash so I don't have to have those payments, right? Doing it with purpose. And now once you have those things, you say, hey, you know what? You start thinking about gifts. And I kind of want to hold off on gifts because I want to have a segment with gifts alone and talents. Like, so many people are talented and gifted and they don't even know. Like, they don't even realize how gifted they are. So I'm going to hold on to this one because I'm going to have my boy Ace Bar on. And this dude is just loaded with gifts. Like, super talented dude. Like, you give him a camera or you give him a sheet of paper, like, he's going to find something great to do with it. And a lot of you guys have that in you and you don't even know it. So say, you're like, hey, I think I want to be a photographer, right? You save enough money to buy a car. Now you're doing Uber, Lyft, you're doing all that Postmates, all that good stuff, making money, right? Because you actually have to work. It's hard work. You actually have to do action. You have to take action, right? So now you start saving up for that camera. Now you start, selling your photos, right? You start doing photo shoots, right? You become, you provide a service, tutoring. You're able to give out whatever the case is. DJ. You want to do a podcast. Cool. You want to do stuff. You want to go into real estate. Cool. You need money to go into real estate. It costs money to get going. You got to take the courses. You got to send the stuff to the state. Like, you got to do. That's the thing. You got to take action. So whatever you want to be, whatever you're looking to do, start now. But don't, if you don't have anything, don't think you're going to be there right away. This took a while, to get all this, stuff together and just, the mindset. It took a long time. And I'm still, at the, super bottom, at the bottom, really. I would say bottom half, right? Because there's so much I need to learn. But if I never started, if I didn't just bite the bullet and give up my car, start doing Lyft, start doing things that were actually going to make me money, and start saving up, come up with the plan to make up for the time that I wasn't making money in real estate. And then once I started making money in real estate, I was able to buy more stuff like this, right? We're able to do more, save more money. We have these huge goals to save money. We're doing our budgeting yesterday, and I was just like, man, this is crazy. I got to close 11 more deals by the end of the year. I have 5 months to do it. Awesome. Let's do it. But everything I do with purpose. Like, you know, it's just so crazy. And I think I missed a quote I wanted to share. When the need to succeed is as bad as the need to breathe, then you'll be successful. Eric Thomas. And I know you guys heard Eric Thomas. He shares a story where he tells a guy, hey, you know, something about $1 million or, you know, a certain amount of money. He goes, meet me here at 5 a.m. And so the guy meets the teacher there at 5 a.m. and they go into the water and the dude starts drowning him. And then the guy goes like, what the heck, you know, like, why are you drowning me? And I'm probably not saying the story right, but you can look it up. And then the guy's like, when you have the need to, you know, to succeed as much as you know, you're going to breathe, that's when you're going to become successful. Go do it, man. I probably should have looked into that story before I actually said it, but you know what I'm talking about. You guys heard that story. And then also, I had another one here. Give me 1 second. So yeah, guys, I just want to leave you guys with this. I hope you guys took something from it because I was super excited about it. Because I know there's people who come up to me and they're like, hey man, like, how'd you get started in real estate? I said, hey, I just did it. And it wasn't pretty. It's ugly. So don't think you're going to come into anything and just be God's gift to anything. It might work for some people. Rarely, right? That's how I felt when I was coming in. I was like, I'm going to be God's gift to real estate and I'm going to just do it. It wasn't the case. So whatever you're going to do it with purpose. Do it at 100%. Even if you're at a job right now and you're like, man, you know what? I'm not getting that, promotion. I'm not going anywhere. Well, how hard are you actually working when you're there? Right? We're called to work as if we're working for God. I don't care what your boss says. I don't care what your boss does. You can't control any of that stuff. What you can actually control is what you're doing, what you're producing, how you're responding. You're in the position that you're in because of you. That simple. I can't blame God for the position that I am. I'm grateful to God, but I can't blame him because he wants me to put in action. And a lot of us are making way too many excuses. And there's the people who actually have a job, but they really don't have any money. Right? And every circumstance is different, but some people work 4 10s, 5 8s hours. What are you doing with the extra time? What are you doing with the extra 3 days? What are you doing with the extra 48 hours that you have? If you don't have any money, do something. If you don't like your job, do something about it. Save up money for you so you can quit for 1 whole year and your expenses are all paid for 1 year. Save up that amount of money and go do what you want to do. Go fail. But no, we're scared. We're scared to actually do it. We're scared to be great. I really believe that. A lot of us are scared to be great. They think it's like a bad thing. It's a great thing. Don't be scared to be great. So whatever you're going through, just know that you can get by. Or not even not get by, but you can actually push through by doing everything at 100%. Your very best. Guaranteed. Even if, like where I used to work, material handler, right? I used to work for a warehouse, and I was a material handler at Griffles. The guys that worked the hardest, they were going to become the next lead, or the next supervisor, or they were going to promote out to another department. It was guaranteed because they worked hard. They didn't make excuses. Like, no, it didn't matter how, like, what they knew or even who they knew. A lot of times they just worked really hard, so they were able to go on to the next level. No more excuses, man. I'm done with excuses for myself. And I'm talking to myself a lot of times. A lot of times I sit here and I send emails and I send messages to people, but am I really working hard? Sometimes I got to look myself in the mirror and say, hey, go hold open houses. Quit being lazy. It's hot. Yeah, it is. It's raining. Yeah, it is. I can't door knock. I'm gonna pass out. You might not. Go do it. I hope you guys got something from today. I was so pumped about this, and I really wish this dude David Casares the best of luck, because this guy's out there doing it. For you guys that haven't started, it's okay. Start now. That's it. Start right now, today, not tomorrow. Today. Go out and do it. Go ask people, hey, I need work. Cool. Do you know how to take photos? No. Okay. Learn. It's that simple, man. It's that simple. Guys, thank you guys again for joining me. I hope you guys really took something today. And I'm not trying to be that mean guy. I'm really not. But I really want to get this point across that it is possible to do anything, and there's no reason why you should be hurting, broke, or without any money, or without a job. Share this with somebody that may be going through that position, that may just, graduated high school, kind of stuck in a rut right now, or, it could be they're 40 years old and they still haven't figured it out. Cool. They're still young. Share this with them. Tag them in this post. Share this podcast with them. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for always being super supportive. Thank you guys for always sharing. I love all you guys. And again, if nobody loves you, Jesus loves you.